All right. Cool. So thank you for joining, guys. So today I'm going to start with the basic of Figma animations for those who are not familiar with. So what is the components, the basic of ones, then how to prepare your file. So having a preparation is always a good start to know what you're going to do later. And then I'm going to teach you how to do it. So we have some samples here that we're going to reproduce again. I'm going to show you everything. And then at the end, we can have like a Q&A. So if you have any questions, you have anything to ask, you can ask. And then at the end, I'm going to send you, after this meeting, I'm going to send you the Figma files that I'm working here. So you can have it for yourself. I'm going to send to your email. And you can have a look, you can inspect, you can get some ideas from there. So I'll start sharing my screen. Okay, so just to give you a quick example of the animations that we're going to do today. So it will be something like this one. This was inspiration from one of the entries from the SQUAR Club challenge on the Coca-Cola. So where we have this type of animation where we have like a can that is rotating and you have like a different flavors. So I think that was super cool and it's not that difficult to do in Figma. So I'm gonna teach you how to do this one today. And also this is another option, another animation that is not that difficult to do. The principles are always the same. So you just need to use your creativity to do things like that. Okay, so just starting from the beginning. So how does these animations happen? So basically, what happens is when we have one component, and let's say we have like a square inside this screen, right? Let's give it some color. Okay, it's a red square. So then, if we duplicate the same screen, and then on the next screen, we move the position of this element, then we can go to prototypes and we can, let's say by clicking, let's connect these two, okay? So here you can just choose click, so click on the screen, desktop. And the important part is selecting this one, the Smart Animate, which will animate from one position to another. Here you can choose the style, I like the slow one, and we can do it back. So clicking on this one, it's going back to the same screen. We can apply the same settings. So here, if we just quickly preview this one. Okay, so when you click on the screen, it's going to move to the other side. Okay, so as long as the layer is exactly the same in both frames, Figma will automatically create a transition from one to another. And here, okay, we have a basic one. We have only position changing, but actually we can do, it works with all the properties. So let's say if we increase the size, we can increase the radius, we can change the color, we can even rotate, which you don't see any difference on the circle, but you're gonna see the difference on the animation. So if we play the animation again, here, that could be your screen. So you see that automatically Figma does the transition smoothly from one square to a bigger circle. Okay. So basically, this is the only thing that you need to know about the Figma animations. So this is the simple concept, and you just have to change the settings to your liking. And so this works only not only with shapes, but it also works with photos or typography or anything that you want. You can create in one layer, modify it in another one, and then using the Smart Animate to make an animation between the two states. Okay, so in this case, let's try to reproduce this animation with the fruits. Okay, so the preparation that you should have is you already have an idea of what you want to do. So in this case, what we can see that the background, it changes. So first you have a yellow color, then we have like a pink color that comes from the right, and then a green color. So they both come from the right, and then when they go back, go to the right side, right to left, left to right. We have this can that is static, but we have the label that are moving as well. So it gives you the effect that the can is rotating. And then we have these fruits that are coming from the middle. So they come from the can and they expand. So they're coming outside. And then on the next slide, they go outside of the frame totally. This one's going inside. And then they go outside. So, which is something that we can also do, just putting the position of them on the next frame, on the next screen, make the position outside of the frame, and that will work. So just to be faster, so I already have like the files that I used here. So I'm gonna bring them. So we're gonna start with the can and put it in the middle, slightly smaller space. Okay. Then this can will be there always. And now we have these labels that we can use. This is like some kombucha labels. Okay. So to create the label here, we're gonna need to do one thing, which is we need to get the measurement of the can. So I'm gonna draw a rectangle here, and I'm gonna decrease the opacity so I can see what is the exact size that I need to cover the entire can. So it can be a little bit bigger, no problem, because it's gonna be covered. We're gonna mask this layer. So roughly slightly bigger than the can, it will work fine. So now we can get the full opacity again. And then this is gonna be our label. So I'm gonna put this label here and maybe a little bit smaller. Then we can adjust. Let's give this the color, maybe the yellow one. Okay. And then let's put this one all together as a frame. Okay. So now, as the labels rotate, we're gonna put them all together. So we're gonna create here. I'm gonna choose the label strawberry. I'm gonna replace it here. Okay. The same size. The other one. Okay. That's center. I'm gonna change the color as well. Mm, okay, let's go. Olive. And another one for the apple flavor. This one. Oh, okay. Wait, resize this one. Okay, so they all have the same size. Okay, center. And then I'm going to change the color. Let's do the green. Okay, so I can put them all together. And I like to use them as a component. So I can reuse it. So I can call this component labels. And then we're going to bring this component into our screen, our first screen. And we're going to put them there. Can change the opacity right now, just to see. Okay, to align with the can for the first screen. Okay, looks centered. So now the trick that we have to do, we have the can here. I'm going to duplicate the can. So in this controls D or Command D on the Mac. And then we're going to select the labels and this duplicated can. And we're going to, I'm going to actually move it to the side so you can see. And then I'm going to mask. And we're going to have the can mask there. Okay, well, actually, let me just remove we can add some shadow by having that effect. Okay, so select the can, select the labels, and mask. And then our layer will be hidden. So we only see the label on the can shape. It's not going the other way. And then what we're going to do later is for the next screens, we're just going to select the labels and we're going to move them to the right side. And this is going to do the effect this way. So move the position. Okay, let's go back here. So now I'm going to align these two as well. Okay, so yeah. Okay, is aligned. And to the mask group, I'm just going to bring the opacity back again to 100%. And then I'm going to change, because this looks terrible, right? So I'm going to change the blending mode to something that it looks good, usually multiply, or this new one that is plus darker. So we can get back the metal, the reflections on the can, and also on this case, you even can see the drops of water. So it looks fresh. Okay, so I can start duplicating. So we have the different screens. So here, 1, 2, and 3. And then on the second one, so let's go and move it to so you can use the arrows to move it. Or in this case, you can actually align here. So it's just 3, probably gonna be aligned well. And the third one, so here, label, I can go to the left to the left, and it's nice. So why I like to use the component is if right now I want to change the colors, or for example, align, change these labels here. It's when the files start to get bigger, it might become more complex to find the exact label and the exact layer where you want to edit something. So here you can just always go back to the master component and change things here, and then it's going to apply directly in in everywhere where it's been using. So you can go down, for example, and you can get that align. Or you can just select them. Okay, I think that looks good. Can go with this one. Okay, so let's see how it's looking already. So I can create a new interaction, new prototype. So as we did before, I'm going to put on click on everywhere on the screen, smart animate flow, and it goes to the next screen. And then this one, we can add the buttons later. Right now, I just want to see how it's looking. So click here. Let's see. Okay, there's this one. Click on the screen, move to the next one. Click on the screen, move to the next one. Okay, so that is working. So next, also easy one, we can do the backgrounds. Okay, so do the same thing, is to have the exactly same size of the background. Let me get here more space. Okay, we're gonna make this one now. So for the background, I'm going to do exactly the same we did with the labels. So we're going to have 3 backgrounds put together. And then this one, I'm going to give it a yellow color, maybe more faded. And then the same for this one. And slightly more red, pinkish. And the green one for the apple. Okay, we can adjust later again. And so same thing, we're going to get them together. We're going to create a component out of it. Okay, component, let's call it background. And then let's use it here. Let's align and send it to the back. Okay, so as you can see, the component extends the entirety, but because it's this screen is clip content, if we unclip, we see it in the back. So it works this way. And now we just need to copy the exact same background component. We copy, we apply on the middle, we drag it to the middle. Okay, we send it to the back. And exactly the same for the third one. Send to the back. And we can just drag. We can use the arrows, we can drag. Sometimes the problem with dragging is this can happen if you by mistakenly get it out of the frame, or sometimes can move to different types of frames. So usually I like to use the arrows, or on this case, we can use here the alignment tool because it's actually perfectly the same size of the desktop. So it's gonna fit perfectly. Okay. And then we can go back and adjust the colors here if we want to. Just go back to the to the original background component. Okay, so let's see again. So by clicking, okay, and we have a nice animation now. So it moves. The can is moving and the background is moving. Okay, so now let's use the text. Okay, here we can do exactly the same thing. We can do different options. So we could do, let's say, having the text separate, or we could actually attach this one with the background, and it will go together. And as you see there, it will automatically update. Maybe this one is smaller. You can change the colors if you want. This one could be fine. This is one option. Or if you want it to be more dynamic, I'm gonna show just because this one is going to be attached to the background. If you want something more dynamic, like we see here on the shoes one, where you see that the text actually change size and rotates. This one is just a little bit more tricky because all the letters actually are separate and they have to animate by itself, one by one. So it just takes a little bit more time, but you can do more fun stuff. I can show you here on the file. So it works like this. And the difference is here on the layers, you see that each letter is individually in a different position. So I wrote it first and then I just create duplicate. And then here they go one by one to that position. If you have it in one layer, it's going to crash or it's not going to animate the way you want it. But for this workshop, so we can keep it like this, similar to the original animation. And then finally, we have the fruits. So I have them already here on the group. So I'm going to bring them to this layer. I'm going to ungroup them because, again, the same that I was just telling you about the letters. So they need to go one by one as well. So we have to move them separately. And so the way it works here is the same. So I have all of these lemons and the peppermint images all separated on the layer one, on the screening on one. I'm going to copy that, Control C, and then I'm going to paste them on the strawberry screen as well. I'm going to bring them below, so under the can, like here. And now, as I showed you before, so we're going to animate these layers one by one. I'm going to make them big. I'm going to rotate them a little bit, and I make them go away. So what we want is them to have this feeling of expanding. So they're coming from the middle of the screen, and they're going out. So we're going to move them away of the screen. We can bring some of them. We can push them away. the screen. Can give them some rotation, even they're a little bit outside of the screen. You can see. Same here. And basically just repeat the same process to all of them. And here. So if you have a lot of elements, it might gonna take you a little bit time. Sometimes can be a little bit boring. Okay, so let's just see what we did already. Okay, so now we start the screen with the lemons and then clicking and the lemons disappear. Okay, and that is basically just repeating the same thing for all of the screens. So on this one, we're gonna have exactly the same thing. This one is just a little bit different on one situation, which is we're going to have to duplicate these to two screens, so to the before and after, and it will have different animations. So let's just bring this below. Okay. On this screen, they're gonna be like this. This is fine. On the first screen, we're gonna place them here as well. Bring them below the can. And then on these ones, we want them to come from the middle, from the can. So now it's below under the can. And then push it a little bit. This one goes to the middle, center the screen. Doesn't need to be exactly the center. If you want them to be dynamic a little bit, and bring them from here. They're just under, so you're not going to see them. And so you just repeat the process to all of them. So make them smaller, can rotate a little bit. So when they expand, it comes with a little bit of motion that makes it more realistic, more interesting. Okay, make it small. Just a little rotation, just to give it a little bit of that more flowy movement, more realistic, and not like that static that goes straight to the position. Okay. Can make it here. And just one more. Okay. And then, oh, yeah, one more. Okay. So on this one was just to create like this effect, like this depth effect. So these ones that are closer, like a bigger and closer to the screen, so we can apply this effect here, layer blur, and so it's just that. So it's the same image. We just apply like a blur effect to give it more 3D. Okay, let's see how it's looking now. So I have this one, and then they nicely come from the middle. Let's repeat. Okay. Nice. So the lemons go out, and the strawberries and the rosemary come from the middle. Okay, that's looking good. And then we just repeat the same thing again. So we copy the strawberries and rosemary. So here, that's the importance of getting, your naming your layers. Because at some point, if you have just like copy this layer, that, at some point you're not gonna know what is what. So I like to name my layers to know what's going on, especially in projects like this. Okay, and so for the last one, we're gonna do exactly the same thing. You can try to expand them, and then you can get them away of the screen. So they're going to go away. Okay, here. and move and rotate. I think it gives like a really nice, um, smooth, realistic effect having this rotation. Okay, this one. Okay, and then lastly, we're gonna bring the apples from this one to here. The center. That looks nice. Let me group these elements, bring them below the can again. Okay. And then we don't have any more before this one, so this one can stay like that. But these ones I'm going to copy, and just to finalize, I'm going to bring them to again to this screen so that they will come from the middle. So they come again from the center of the can. Okay. And here, and then the apple goes to the middle. And here, another one. The cinnamon. Okay. Okay. I think I can just pull them. Oh, wait, there's one more. Yeah, this big one. Okay. Big guy. Oh, goes to the middle. Okay. Rotate a little bit. Okay. And now we're going to put them all behind the can. So we don't see them. Okay. And I think we have all the effects that we want. So now I'm just going to quickly create the control. So basically we can just make a arrow. We can use this. Oh, and if we want one. Yeah, this one. You can just get this in Figma. We can put that into a component. Oh, sorry, into a frame. Into a frame. We can make this frame now to layout. Can give it some spacing. We can get the color, for example. It can even be round. Okay. So this one, just make it center. Can copy to the screen. Can also duplicate and flip it to the left and copy this one and paste it onto this one. Okay. And so now we can go back and forth. Let's just create then the connection. So connect this arrow to the right one. Figma already knows like the previous settings that you had before, so we just keep all of them the same, which is nice. We can connect this one to the back. Nice. this one to the apple, and apple to the strawberry. Okay, and if we did everything all right, this should be having a nice animation like we had before. Oh, okay, so let's test it. And click the strawberries, apples, and I can open. And all things working nicely. Yeah, there is just like these small little things that Figma sometimes have these bugs. I don't know why. Sometimes when you have some effects on the layers, it gives you this weird thing. So it comes out, the image is there, but it takes a little bit to actually load the correct stuff. And that's it. That's it. We have done the design done in less than 1 hour. So it's pretty simple. And this is the basics. So as you can see, then you just can use your creativity or imagination to create whatever you want. It's pretty simple principle. So it's just having the same layer in one and another screen, and then it's going to do the transition. You can change colors, you can change size, rotation, opacity, and stuff like that, and even work with images, text, backgrounds, colors, whatever you want. Cool. So I hope you guys like it. I hope you guys learn anything. So now I'm just going to open for if anyone have any questions or would like to say something, please feel free to ask on the chat. If not, thank you so much for joining. I hope you like it. I hope you learned something today. And I will send you, I'll send you the, yes, Amira, can you talk? Wait 1 second. Okay, yeah. Can you open your mic? Or you can chat if you want.
Tiago.
Hi, hello.
I'm sorry. I came in a bit late for the lesson. Can I get a? Are you recording the session? Can I get the video, please, if possible?
Yes, correct. Yeah, I record the session, so I'll be sending the recording and also the Figma file that we just did.
Okay,
Just showed.
perfect. Thank you so much.
No
Because
problem.
it's afternoon my time, so it was a bit. I was a bit busy. Sorry, but I
Yeah,
did
no
come in. I
problem.
just came in a bit late.
Thank you. No problem. Yeah, I understand. It might be difficult for some people. There's different time zones. So yeah, no problem. I'm gonna send the recording, and I'm going to share as well. So the Figma file.
Okay, great. Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, cool. So if we don't have any more questions, thank you so much for coming today. Thank you for joining, and I hope you like it. See you soon. Bye. Yes, Mubarak, can you have
Yeah.
permission? Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Hello.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. So I was going to ask, uh, on what
Yeah.
platform? How are we going to get the link for the recorded session?
So if you guys are on the Square Club, right? Are you on the Square
Yes,
Club?
I am. Yes, I am.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, I'm going to publish there on the, so that is already on the Figma Club. So there's already a topic created there for this event. So I'm going to put the links there, but
Okay.
I also gonna send by sorry, I'm also gonna send you by email.
Oh, okay. All right. All right. Thank you.
Okay.
That's helpful. Yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna send with the email, so it's gonna have the recording link and the Figma file as well.
All right. Sure. Sure. I understand. Thank you.
Okay, welcome. Hi, Kenneth. Do you want to say something, Kenneth?
Not really. The program is awesome. I think I love what you do.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Cool. Yeah, thank you as well, Penny, for joining. Glad you like it, you learned something. Okay, cool. Nice. Thank you so much. And I will try to get more often, some more sessions like this. So with some Figma and other topics. So if you guys have any other ideas, anything else that you would like to see, some workshops, go on the SQUAR Club and text me or create on the chats some topics about it, and we can create that for you as well. It will be nice. All right, nice. So have a nice day. I'm not sure if it's still morning, evening, night for you guys. So have a nice Friday and have a nice weekend. Enjoy your weekend and morning from over. Okay, for me it's already evening, almost 7 p.m. Okay, cool. So thank you for joining again, and have a great weekend. Bye bye.